Today, I want to talk about the most wonderful time of the year, Christmas. Specifically, I want to look at Christmas through the lens of TV. TV does a lot of interesting things. It provides entertainment, comfort, or even community. But I think the most interesting thing TV does is it smooths the contradictions in our social ideologies. According to Alcer, ideology is a representation of the imaginary relationships of individuals to their real conditions of existence. What we think should be happening is not always happening. The dominant ideology in Christmas is that it has some sort of religious or familia meaning. But in reality, that meaning is muddled, vague, and not very clear. I want to unpack 4 Christmas episodes, Charlie Brown, The Grinch, South Park, and Community, and show how they smooth over the social contradictions and reconcile it with our everyday lived experience. But first, why is there so much confusion around Christmas? I mean, to the religiously faithful, Christmas has a very obvious meaning, the birth of Christ. But in reality, a religious meaning to Christmas only tells half the truth. I mean, there's a lot of people who have no religious affiliation who still celebrate Christmas. And this non-religious secular celebration of Christmas is well rooted in history. In ancient Rome, there was a number of winter pagan festivals that happened around the Christmas period. Sandwiched in between these festivals was Sol Invictus, the celebration of the unconquered sun god, which celebrated on December 25th. These pagan celebrations not only outdated the Christian meaning of Christmas, but Christianity itself. There is not a clear understanding about why Christianity chose to celebrate Christmas on December 25th, but historians are fairly sure of a connection between the Roman pagan festivals and the religious meaning of Christmas. Today, there's also a third meaning of Christmas, consumerism. 97% of Americans say that they buy some sort of present around Christmas, amounting to nearly $200 billion in sales. Roughly about 20% of all retail sales in America come from Christmas time. Christmas is as important to mega corporations as it is to the religiously faithful. And that's exactly what Charlie Brown wanted to tackle in his Christmas special. A Charlie Brown's Christmas opens with a fade up from black while playing the iconic song Christmas Time Is Here. The opening line reads, The song perfectly sets the tone for the rest of the show. The viewer hears about how cheerful Christmas is through the lyrics, but feels sad because of the tone of the music. The happy-sad juxtaposition continues as we are introduced to Charlie Brown, who says,
I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel.
The episode sets up a social contradiction around Christmas. Much like the song, Charlie Brown hears about Christmas's cheer, but only feels the sadness. Charlie Brown pinpoints his lack of understanding towards Christmas as the source of his unhappiness. Specifically, Charlie Brown struggles to see past the commercialization of Christmas. Any moment the commercial aspect of Christmas pops up, Charlie is off put.
My own dog gone commercial. I can't stand it. Oh!
Charlie Brown's seasonal sadness is only cured once he learns the true meaning of Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. After Linus delivers his rendition of the Gospel of Luke, Charlie Brown could care less about commercialism. As he looks upon the stars, he proclaims,
Linus is right. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas.
Unlike the start of the episode, which featured a sad-sounding song with happy lyrics, the episode ends with both happy melodies and happy lyrics. By discovering the true meaning of Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ, tension is resolved and order is restored. Through both the music and Charlie Brown's own struggle with consumerism, A Charlie Brown Christmas reestablishes the idea that Christmas is a holiday to celebrate the birth of Jesus and has nothing to do with commercialism. How the Grinch Stole Christmas builds on and plays off the ideology presented in A Charlie Brown Christmas. The Grinch, being the Grinch, takes it upon himself to steal Christmas. The Grinch infamously hates the holidays, only to find out that the material trappings were not what Christmas was about. Once the Grinch realizes that all the bows, ribbons, and feasts were merely signs of joy and not in and of themselves Christmas, his heart grows 3 sizes larger. The Grinch's divine revelation preaches that
maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
This is where the Grinch slightly departs from Charlie Brown. In A Charlie Brown Christmas, the meaning of Christmas is spoon-fed to the audience through Linus's speech. However, in The Grinch, the meaning is more subtle, vague, and ambiguous. The Grinch is more interested in telling viewers what Christmas is not. This diversion from the Nativity was a very intentional choice made by Ted Giesel, better known as Dr. Seuss. Giesel did not want to seem too churchy, saying he felt like a second-rate preacher or some biblical truism. Giesel noted that, finally, in desperation, I showed the Grinch and the Who's together at the table. I had to go through thousands of religious choices, and it came out like that. In wanting to stay clear of religious symbolism, the Grinch ends up representing the pagan festival nature of Christmas. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Christmas time is a time of joy and happiness. Citizens are looking to connect with one another and celebrate, much like the pagan Roman celebrations. Here, the meaning of Christmas is simple: celebration, goodwill, and family. In these classically animated Christmas TV specials, Christmas means more. For Charlie Brown, that more is the birth of Jesus Christ, and for the Grinch, it's a general togetherness and spending time with others. But South Park wanted to challenge the dominant ideology. In today's TV landscape, adult animation is providing some of the best space to challenge dominant ideologies. South Park directly calls out the social contradictions around Christmas's true meaning. During a news interview, a random citizen of South Park says,
It's just that a lot of people don't really believe in the whole Jesus thing anymore, So what's to celebrate?
The citizens of South Park have seemingly forgotten Christmas's true meaning: buying stuff to help fuel the economy. Even the mayor of South Park is concerned, saying,
"This is terrible, Johnson. Our whole town's economy is going right in the toilet. We've got to get everybody back in the Christmas spirit."
To save Christmas, the South Park boys decide to make their own animated Christmas special, preaching the message of consumerism. In the Christmas special, the boys make Jesus and Santa battle to have a monopoly on Christmas. Jesus proclaims,
"Christmas is for celebrating my birth. Christmas is for giving."
As the boys' animation special comes to a close, they proclaim,
"It doesn't matter if you're Christian or Jewish or atheist or Hindu. Christmas still is about one very important thing: presents. Don't you see, Kyle? Yeah, presents."
Numerous town folks chirp in, saying things like,
That is the spirit of Christmas. Commercialism. Because it's what makes our country work.
In the end, the consumeristic meaning of Christmas wins, and the citizens of South Park promptly go out to buy presents. With almost $200 billion in sales, consumerism has an important place in Christmas, and South Park calls it out. With all 3 meanings of Christmas floating around, it can be hard to choose one. So Community wanted to synthesize all of these meanings. In Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, Abed wakes up to find everything in claymation. The school therapist, Professor Duncan, and the rest of Abed's friends try and help Abed find the true meaning of Christmas. To do so, the gang plays along with Abed's delusion and pretends to go to the Winter Wonderland. In order to unpack the true meaning of Christmas, which was established by previous animated Christmas special, Community takes on their tropes. Community uses these tropes not to mock Charlie Brown or the Grinch, but to evolve the meaning of Christmas. The episode directly tackles many of the social contradictions discussed earlier. Britta, the PC social justice member of the group, is eager to point out,
You guys know Jesus was born in the middle of April, right? The church moved his birthday to December so they could steal the solstice from the pagans.
As the Greendale study group travels through the Winter Wonderland, they are all thrown out one by one, Willy Wonka style. After getting upset with Abed, Shirley begins to rant, complaining that she's the only one who knows the true meaning of Christmas. Shirley, the Christian voice of the show, is the first member of the group to be thrown out of Winter Wonderland. Abed explains that Shirley was tossed because she was trying to monopolize the meaning of Christmas. Community is looking deeper than religion to find the meaning of Christmas. After traveling to the North Pole and finding Santa's workshop, Abed finds a present that says, the true meaning of Christmas. Upon opening the box, Abed finds yet another box. After 2 or 3 iterations, Abed finds a DVD set of the show, Lost. Abed realizes that the lost DVD symbolizes a lack of a payoff. Professor Duncan explains that
this is what Christmas does to people. We put too much meaning into it, and it lets us down.
Then the whole gang comes back to help Abed. They slam on Duncan and defend the meaning of Christmas. Annie explains that the delusion of Christmas is the crazy notion
that the longest, coldest, darkest nights can be the warmest and brightest. Yeah.
The gang soon break into song, singing about what Christmas means to them. Shirley sings about Jesus Christ, Annie sings about spending time with her family, and Troy sings about playing video games. In the end, Abed says,
"The meaning of Christmas is the idea that Christmas has meaning, and it can mean whatever we want."
In Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, community says that Christmas has no meaning, and this is okay. If every person chooses what Christmas means to them, then the social contradictions are resolved. Because of the contradiction in the ideology around Christmas, it can be difficult for people to get excited for Christmas. I mean, just think about the whole Starbucks controversy. People got really angry when they changed their cups to a solid red. It can be really hard to get into the holidays when there's so much war around the meaning. By smoothing these social contradictions, shows like Charlie Brown, The Grinch, Community, and South Park allow people to celebrate the holidays, no matter what they think the reason for the season is. And anything that makes the winter a little less sucky is worth a watch.